Good morning, beloveds. It is July. If you have a mind for a joke, we have entered Jumanji level 7. All right. It's July, and I gave you a bit of a preview. July is going to be the month of freedom, which, considering the 4th of July is in July, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. So he starts out the month with a bunch of quotes. So let me give you the quotes. Even the Spirit does not seek to control us. It lets us alone to discover ourselves. That's Holmes. We have thought that outside things controlled us, when all the time we have had that within us that could have changed everything and given us freedom from bondage. Also Ernest Holmes. This one is Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. I don't think I was meant to be a Shakespeare. Okay, this one is Schopenhauer. Every newborn being, indeed, comes fresh and blithe into the new existence, and enjoys it as a free gift. But there is, and can be, nothing freely given. Its fresh existence is paid for by the old age and death of a worn-out existence which has perished, but which contained the indestructible seed out of which this new existence has arisen. They are one being. Which sounds an awful lot like a phoenix. I'll have to think about that one. And then the last one, turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you. And that is a Maori proverb, which is what sunflowers do. They actually do follow the sun. It's been interesting to see all the sunflowers in my neighborhood recently. Okay. Ooh, these are long. So now we have titles and Bible quotes. So this will be good. Our title today, for July 1st, is I Am Free with the Freedom of God. And our Bible quote is, Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewithin Christ hath made us free. And that is Galatians 5:1. All right. Let's see. We all wish to be free, but at the same time, we should realize that liberty is not license. To say that we are free with the freedom of God does not mean that we are free to do that which contradicts the divine nature. We are free only in that freedom that God is. The freedom to be alive, to enjoy living, to enter into the activities of everyday living with enthusiasm and interest. We are free to love and be loved. We are free to give full and complete expression to every capacity we possess, provided this freedom harms no one and hurts no thing. This is freedom enough, because if we are free to do that which is destructive, we should ultimately destroy ourselves. And in so doing, we would not only deny, but would defame the nature of divinity itself. Therefore, we always pray, Thy will be done. But within this will, we know there is scope enough for self-expression, plenty of room to move around and express life to its fullest. I am free with the freedom of God. Today, I manifest this freedom in joy. I think of it with deep gratitude to the giver of all life, and with a deep inward sense of my union with the whole. In my own will and imagination, I see myself free, complete, and perfect. I feel back to the center of my being, which is God, and I affirm that his freedom is my freedom. And I include my own physical body in this perfection, as well as every activity in which I am engaged. I expand my consciousness and invite new experiences, knowing that they shall be created for me by the same power that makes everything. I enter into this freedom with complete abandonment, with the feeling that all things are working out well, and with the deep and sincere desire to live so that my freedom shall be imparted to others, that we all may feel that we are in partnership with the infinite. That was a mouthful. But it was a pretty awesome mouthful. So, he starts off with we all wish to be free, but at the same time, we should realize that liberty is not license. One of the things that we've been accused of is exactly that. It's like, oh, do whatever you want. No, do whatever you want, but harm none. That is the essence of science of mind, because we believe that we can't do anything that we shouldn't do anything against divine nature. And if we are living within the divine nature, we can't do anything against divine nature. It's freedom within responsibility. And that's one of our big things is, yes, we are personally responsible. We are free, but we are personally responsible. And we have a responsibility to not do things against the divine pattern, the divine nature. And we have a responsibility to make sure that everybody knows that they have access to that same power and that they have that same freedom. What I want for myself, I want for everyone else. Okay, so to say that we are free with the freedom of God does not mean that we are free to do that which contradicts the divine nature. We are not free to contradict the divine nature. And if we are living the divine nature, we will not. It is when we are not and that's the bondage. We are free only in the freedom that God is, the freedom to be. So here's what he says. Where our freedom is, the freedom to be alive, the freedom to enjoy living, to enter into the activities of everyday living with enthusiasm and interest. We are free to love and to be loved. We are free to give full and complete expression to every capacity that we give. He's giving us a list of the freedoms that we have. We are free to give, I said that. Provided this freedom harms no one and hurts no thing. You are free with responsibility. This is freedom enough because we are free to do that. Okay, here's where he gives his qualifier. Basically, love and be loved, express who you are, live with enthusiasm and joy. Those are your freedoms. We are not free to be destructive because we will destroy ourselves. So, yeah, I could get really environmental here. And it may be Ansel Adams, but it may not be, that says we worship an invisible God and yet we are destroying the visible God when we destroy environment. The same thing of we worship an invisible God, but when we are destroying each other over whatever ridiculous reason that we have to destroy each other, we're destroying ourselves. It's a little bit of our humanity we lose, or a lot of our humanity that we lose. So we ultimately would destroy ourselves. In so doing, we would not only deny, but would defame the nature of divinity itself. Okay. When we go against the divine nature, we're denying it. When we are living in the divine nature, we cannot go against it. Therefore we pray, thy will be done. It's not God controlling us. It is about living in the divine nature, living in the freedom of joy and of love. But within this will, we know that there is scope enough for self-expression. Plenty of room to move around and express life to its fullest. And that's our responsibility. Our responsibility is to express life to the fullest and to make sure that every other living being has the ability to express life to its fullest. And that is how we are free. Okay, so statements of power. I am free with the freedom of God. Today I manifest this freedom in joy. I think of it with deep gratitude to the giver of all life and with deep inward sense of my union with the whole. A deep inward sense of my union with the whole. When I am deep in that union, then I cannot go against the divine nature. In my own will and imagination, I see myself free, complete, and perfect. So in my own will and nature, I see you as free, complete, and perfect. I feel back to the center of my being, which is God, and affirm that his freedom is my freedom. And I include my physical body in this freedom, as well as every activity which I am engaged. I mean, if we're going to be free in spirit, why not be free in the body? Include your body in that freedom. I'm a little stiff today from my workout on Monday, so yep, heck yeah, I'm going for physical freedom today. I'd like to reach the floor. It was really far away yesterday. I expand my consciousness and invite new experiences, knowing that they shall be created for me by the same power that makes everything. So I'm inviting new experiences, knowing that they are going to come through that divine nature, through that divine pattern, through that divine power. If my new experiences are coming through the divine pattern, then they're going to be amazing, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of them. So I'm inviting those new experiences. I enter into this freedom with complete abandonment. It's kind of hard to imagine Ernest Holmes using complete abandonment. But that's really cool. So I enter into this freedom with complete abandonment, with the feeling that all things are working out well. If you're going to imagine the outcome, why not imagine the positive? We spend so much time worrying about the negative. What about if things work out? And so Ernest is inviting us to do that right now. So that all things are working out with a deep and sincere desire to live so that my freedom shall be imparted to others. One of my favorite things about Science of Mind, what I want for myself, I want for others. That we may all feel that we are in partnership with the infinite. So today, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to feel that you are in partnership with the infinite and to recognize your freedoms. Your freedom to love, your freedom to be loved, your freedom to be alive, to enjoy living, your freedom to self-expression, and your freedom to impart those freedoms to every living being. All right, it's Wednesday. Today is halfway through the week for me. So I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, something kind for yourself, something compassionate for yourself. It is bloody hot out there if you are in my area, just so you know. That's my English coming out. So maybe opening the windows is not the best way to get fresh air today, but do something to get some fresh air today. Sometimes think of that as a code word for a fresh perspective. Because that's exactly what fresh air can do for you. It can give you a new perspective. So get your groove on, get your movement in, do whatever you need to do to make today a fantastic day. And know that Reverend David will be on sometime around 5 with you today with the daily guide reading, and I will be back with you at 9 a.m. And it is Wednesday. If you check the emails, they've changed the meditations. They've been doing Wednesday meditations at 1, and they're moving it to more of a visioning, and it will be more conversational. So you might want to check that out. I believe that's Reverend Marcia. So we are finding new and wonderful ways to connect with you at all the time. Have a fantastic day, beloveds, and know you are free to love and you are free to be loved. And you are a beloved child of God. Love you guys. Bye.